In this video, we're gonna get introduced to the Bootstrap grid system. If we go back to the Bootstrap homepage and scroll down a little bit, we can revisit the example we have seen earlier where we had a layout that responds to changes of the width of our viewports. So if you go from small device sizes where we have the elements stacked this way and increase the width of the viewports, we can see how the layout adjusts according to the new width, and we will see that at some points the elements are not stacked anymore. They get aligned, and as we're increasing the width, the layout will keep adjusting according to the new width. Okay, so to understand the grid system, you can imagine that we've got 12 columns, and each element in the page is taking a width equal to a number of columns, given that the sum of all the widths is equal to 12 columns. Okay, so we can have a specific design for each device size by choosing the number of columns that each element will occupy. Okay, so let's build our own example and see in detail how it all works. So let's go to our gridsystem.html file. I've created a simple div inside the container showing device size, and I've just created a simple JavaScript code showing the width of the browser and also which device size we're looking at. Okay, so if you want to look at this in detail, you can do that on your own. We're not going to go in detail in the code because it's not the purpose of this video. So if we change the width of the window, we can see here the width of our window, and also you can see which device size we're looking at. So if we start from the smallest device size, extra small devices, phones, and we keep increasing the width, we're going to move at some points to small devices, so at 768 pixels, and then at 992 we move to medium devices, and then at 1200 we move to large devices. Okay, all right. Okay, now we're going to create a couple of divs inside our container, and we will see how we are going to change the layout of the page depending on the device size. Okay, let's create a couple of divs and give a background color for each div. You can do this on your own. So a couple of divs with different background colors, and let's give each div a height of 200 pixels. Okay, so let's go for this. So first one, let's give it a class blue box, and the second one green box, and let's just style each one. Let's have a height as well, 200 pixels. Okay, so now we want to design the layouts of the page so that in medium device sizes we can have both divs aligned in a way that the first div has got a width taking 8 columns and the second div takes 4 columns for the width. So a way to do that is by using a class. Okay, so the class is going to be column medium followed by the number of columns. Okay, so column medium, so followed by the number of columns. So the first one we're looking at 8 columns. Okay, and the second one we're gonna have column medium 4 columns. All right, so now we cannot see it now because we are looking at extra small devices, but if we resize the width of our window and we go to medium devices, now we can see that the first div is taking 8 columns for the width and the second one is taking 4 columns. All right. So if we choose a design for one device size, the next device size is going to inherit the same design. So large devices, we can see that they have the same design as medium devices. But if we go back to small devices, we can see that the divs are stacked, and the same thing for extra small devices. So if we want to change the small devices design as well, there's another class we can use. So this one is going to be column small followed by the number of columns we want. So let's say for small devices, we want each div to take 6 columns for the width. So column SM for small followed by the number of columns. Just make sure that the sum is all the time 12 for each device size. So we're looking at extra small devices, and now if you move to small devices, we can see that the divs are taking half of the screen. And if you move to medium devices, 8 and 4, and the same thing for large devices. Okay, so let's do the same thing for extra small devices. So the class is column XS followed by the number of columns. So let's go for 3 columns for the first one, and let's go for 9 columns for the second one. Okay, so you can see now that for extra small devices, got 3 and 9, and then for small devices 6 and 6, and then 8 and 4 for medium devices, and the same thing for large devices. We can change large devices as well. So let's just add another class. So you can guess this one, it's column large followed by the number of columns. Let's go for 4 for the first one and 8 for the second one, or the opposite. So let's go for 8 and 4. Okay, so you can see, so if we start from the small device, we can see how the layout changes when we move to small devices, and then to medium devices, and then to large devices. Oh, we picked up the same design for large and medium. Okay, so let's just change that. So 4 and 8. Okay, so you can see how it changes. All right, so you can copy the classes inside the text of the div so that it's clear. Okay, and now you can see. Okay, so for extra small, you've got 3 and 9, and then for small devices 6 and 6, and then medium devices 8 and 4, and then for large devices we're looking at 4 and 8.